I love Chris Pine. Chris Pine is an actor who, to me, he has shown he can do great drama, he can do action, and he can do comedy. He's just able to do it all. With whatever you put in front of him, he can do it. And so he kind of carried, in my opinion, the Wonder Woman franchise. He did a great job. I mean, directed by Patty Jenkins, who did an incredible job with that first movie. I loved him in it. Now, of course, then they did the second film, not as good as the first. And then, of course, now with almost everything else in the DC EU has now been wiped away. Not going to be a Wonder Woman 3. Well, Chris Pine was recently asked about that. And he is shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
He just heard right now?
Yeah, that they're not doing another Wonder Woman film. This comes to us from Variety, who wrote the following. Chris Pine is shocked. Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman franchise is dead. The actor recently spoke to Business Insider while promoting his feature directorial debut, Pool Man, and said he's struggling to understand how Warner Brothers could pull the plug on a franchise that grossed the studio nearly $1 billion at the worldwide box office. He said this, I'm stunned that they said no to a $1 billion franchise and decided to pivot elsewhere, Pine said. I don't know what the reasoning was behind that. It's above my pay grade, but Wonder Woman is an incredible character. Patty is such a thoughtful director, and she is. Now, he did go on to kind of point out the fact that there was no way he was ever going to come back. He said, in his interview with Business Insider, Pine said that he doubted he would have been returning for Wonder Woman 3 had it been made, as his character is dead and gonzo, adding, it would be ridiculous to try to bring me back. That's what people were saying before Wonder Woman 2. He also remembered originally being skeptical of the role playing Steve Rogers. Anyway, I get what he's talking about, right? I mean, I get it. But I'd like to visit something he said, calling Wonder Woman a $1 billion franchise. I suppose technically, actually probably not even take. Ray, can you, how much did Wonder Woman 1984 make at the worldwide box office? Now, maybe if you add together Wonder Woman 1 and 2, maybe you get $1 billion. How much?
Worldwide, it was 169 million.
169 million. And how much was Wonder Woman 1? Dudes! I don't think it got to 800 million.
Let's see.
I think it was I think Wonder Woman 1 made 700 and some odd million dollars.
823. Okay,
so it did make 823. All right, so 823 plus 169. Nope, not $1 billion. But it's close enough. But in calling it a $1 billion franchise, yeah, the first movie made a lot of money. The second movie, there were extenuating circumstances, but it was also universally hated.
It's also about profitability. If you look at those movies combined, were they profitable after spending? If you're talking about it as a franchise, is that franchise now profitable, or did the second movie torpedo the profitability of that IP?
Yeah, and I just don't know. Now, granted, with the second film, there were also extenuating circumstances.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
There absolutely were. But it was a universally hated film.
It was awful.
And I don't know that a lot of people were lining up. Again, what I thought what Patty Jenkins did with the first Wonder Woman movie was fantastic. I love the first movie. And it was really the first DCEU film that came out that actually hit the trio. It was big with the critics, big with the audience, and big at the box office, right? It was the first one to really knock it out of the park that way. Aquaman then did it as well. But it was the first one to do it, second one, big step down. But I mean, look, as somebody who gave a positive review to every single DCEU film except for Wonder Woman 84 and what?
Birds of Prey.
Yeah, and Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie, The Fabulous Emancipation, one Harley Quinn. Those are the only two movies I gave negative reviews to. I liked or loved every single other DCEU film. And as somebody who gave big positive reviews to almost every DCEU film, the DCEU was a failure. It had parts that worked. At times it worked. But guess what? You can have a great steering wheel. If the engine doesn't run, your car is broken. The DCEU had parts that worked, but the car was broken. And they had to move on. And so calling Wonder Woman a $1 billion franchise is a little generous. But I don't think he should be shocked. But I'll say this too. I absolutely would not have been interested in Wonder Woman 3 if Chris Pine had not been in it. He did the majority of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And him and Gal Gadot actually had great chemistry. They had wonderful on-screen chemistry. And I don't know if I would have been interested. Anyway, Rob, you're hearing all this. What do you make of it?
Well, Pool Man, it's not supposed to be great. And I want it to be great because I, like you, love Chris Pine. I think
it's
Chris
his
Pine's,
first directorial effort.
Yeah, I think he's a great actor, and I love his presence. And look, I'll say this: I thought he was a great Captain Kirk. I just wish his scripts were better. And I think that I loved him, like you said, Hell and High Water. He's a great presence, and I love
good in Hell and High Water.
He's somebody that I will go watch. So, but I mean, Wonder Woman, it's an IP that had one hit and a miss. It's 50-50. The batting average there is not great. And look, and it's interesting to me because remember, Patty Jenkins took over as the director of Wonder Woman 1. So she wasn't the primary creative force in the development behind it, but she was with Wonder Woman 2. I mean, that story, she developed that whole project. And I think, it wasn't that the elements weren't great, I think, but the overall idea about this wishing rock and all this just didn't. You go from World War I and to this totally fantastical, weird concept thing, and it just didn't work. And I think a Wonder Woman movie, a third one, could work, but you'd have to bring it all down, and it doesn't fit in with what DC's doing now, so it's not surprising to me they're not making it. It's sad.
Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Listen, we all carry around different stressors, big and small. When we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us negatively. Therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever is weighing on you. I've said for a long time, it's time for us to start prioritizing mental health as much as we prioritize physical health. We encourage each other when we go to the gym to take care of ourselves physically. Well, it's time we start encouraging each other to take care of ourselves mentally as well. So if you're thinking about taking that step and prioritizing your mental health, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. So get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Campea. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about Chris Pine, who we love around here? I'm not trying to cast any shade on Chris Pine. I love Chris Pine. But what do you think about his comments being shocked that they would pull the plug on a billion-dollar franchise like Wonder Woman? I don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.